Avengers Endgame spoiler review. So the movie has been out since April 26th, and the spoiler ban has been lifted a couple weeks ago. So, meaning spoilers are free reign. So around the time the spoiler ban was lifted, you saw a whole bunch of spoiler videos coming out, and I was planning on making one, but I forgot to. So here's my spoiler review. For Avengers Endgame. Still amazing, but now I can go in more depth on the things that I really liked, or things I'm not that big of a fan of. But I did give it 100 out of 100, so you can tell there ain't gonna be much that I disagree with. First of all, let's get into one that has a lot of people sort of iffy about, and that's the handling of Professor Hulk. This was a big theorized thing going into this movie, was the fact that they barely showed Bruce Banner, and it was a theory ever since Infinity War that Bruce was going to become his Professor Hulk persona, where Hulk and Bruce formed together pretty much. And yeah, it is. But I actually liked Professor Hulk, and I kind of like how they did it, but also at the same time, I didn't. They do it in a manner that's pretty rushed. And the fact where start the film off, Bruce is there, he's still wearing the Hulkbuster outfit, they kill Thanos, but I really liked, like, the opening minutes of the movie, they kill Thanos. Tony and Nebula come to Earth, and all the Avengers besides Tony go to space, and Thor chops off Thanos' head, and the stones are destroyed. Such a brilliant opening. I love that opening. It's great. It's an amazing way to open the movie, because the whole trailer was focusing on their mission to kill Thanos. That was the mission in the trailer. So when that happens, you are taken completely off guard on what the film is really about, a time travel story where they go back in time to get all the stones and resurrect everybody. So, yeah, that was really what I really liked. But it leads into this Hulk, and it happens pretty rushed, and I'm not a big fan of how rushed happens. But we do get a pretty good explanation on Bruce's terms and stuff, and I actually really liked it. It was comprehensive enough. And we got the story, we got the full story. And that's really, I feel like, what we needed. The movie was long enough, I feel like we didn't, and there wasn't a lot of extra stuff in the movie. Everything felt important, so I feel like in order to get Professor Hulk there, it would have just bogged the movie down. We would have had a longer runtime, and then he still would be explaining it to Scott. So really, the explanation doesn't bother me. What bothers me is how fast it just comes up and goes. But the whole execution of it does not bother me. I actually quite like it. Fat Thor is my biggest problem. Thor's PTSD is handled very comedically, which is surprising with how the MCU has treated PTSD in the past, with Iron Man 3 being a very realistic portrayal of PTSD. So realistic, that's actually in college psych books and stuff. So it's quite surprising to see PTSD treated like this and constantly made fun of. I mean, people get fat when they have PTSD. They start to let themselves go, start to drink a lot, eat a lot. That happens to some people with PTSD. But it's the fact that they constantly make fun of it is what doesn't sit the best with me, especially with Iron Man 3, like I said, having an amazing portrayal of PTSD. And apart from that, that's really my only complaint about the movie. But let's get into more things I liked that I couldn't talk about in my original review. Scott comes back with a rat, which, I mean, makes sense. Rats are going to start to invest that van after 5 years. They're going to start crawling all over the place. They're bound to eventually. You step on that button. It's not lucky. It was bound to happen. Probability says so. There's only so many places you can go in a van. I'm sorry. People saying that's so unlikely. Probability says eventually that would happen. Yeah, it's very lucky that it happened 5 years, because it could have taken way longer, but, probability says that. But Scott comes back, and 5 years has passed, but he doesn't know it, and it feels like 2 hours to him, and, well, everything's changed. Hank, Hope, and Janet are all dusted, and his daughter, she's grown up 5 years. She's like 15 to 16 right now. So that's very striking for something to happen to Scott, and I really like that. It sort of had a man out of time sort of feel. He doesn't know what happened. He doesn't know Thanos. He doesn't know the Infinity Stones. He knows nothing that happened. His stories are very outside of the MCU, and it felt good to get an outsider's opinion / look. I like everyone's sort of moving on with it, except for a select few. I really like that part with Captain America holding support groups for people who haven't quite moved on from the snap. I really like that. I like that Tony now has a family. He's got a family. He's settled down Pepper, and they have a child named Morgan, who is super cute. She's a super cute kid, and I love their relationship. They love each other 3,000, which is approximately how long every movie in the MCU is in minutes. So that's fun. That's a fun thing. But then they pull Tony back for time travel, and Cap gets the shield back and stuff, which is a really great moment between Cap and Tony. And everything is so great between his character emotions and relations are so good in this movie. I love it so much. But everyone starts to make a plan to go back in time. They're gonna get all the stones back. They're gonna snap again. But this time they're gonna bring everything back because people are suffering. Hawkeye's family died. Now he became Ronin and starts killing a bunch of people. And they have to bring him back. And everything's changing. We get a setup for two future Marvel superhero movies, which would be cool. We get a reference to Namor when Okoye is saying, and there are earthquakes at the bottom of the ocean, which is fun because Namor, the submariner, constantly fights Black Panther in the comics, so we can maybe expect Namor and Black Panther 2, which I'm very excited about. Then we get a name drop when they're back when Cap and Tony are back in the 70s. Is Peggy name drops Captain Britain, which is also really fun. Maybe we'll get a Captain Britain movie. That would be great. But yeah, those are fun Easter eggs. Maybe they're just Easter eggs. Maybe there's going to be something building up around it. Namor, I feel, is definitely going to happen. Captain Britain might have been just a fun Easter egg. Howard the Duck's in the final battle. That was a fun thing that I really enjoyed. A lot of fun references and Easter eggs and stuff. There's community references because obviously the directors worked on that movie, so that's fun. Those are also fun. But yeah, all that is really fun. Now let's get into more spoiler stuff. They all go back in time, and we get some of the best moments of the movie when everyone's going back in time. Like Hulk, Captain America, Iron Man, and Ant-Man all go back in time. I'm to New York in 2012 because at that time there are 3 Infinity Stones there. There's the Time Stone, there's the Space Stone, and there's the Mind Stone. So they all go on a mission to get them. What I really liked. There's a lot of humor in it, and it's really fun to see our characters, pretty much meet each other again. Hulk has a really long conversation about time travel with the Ancient One. He gives her the stone. She gives him the stone. Loki escapes with the Tesseract, which people might be like, what? That's gonna change time. But in time travel, the way they explain it, I like. It makes sense. Like, maybe you won't change how the future happens. You'll just create an alternate timeline, which I like. But anyway, Loki took the Tesseract, and now he's currently traveling to his spin-off show, which is fun. That's a good way to set up his spin-off show because, obviously, Loki died. So we're going to see Loki probably bouncing around timelines and stuff in his TV show, which is going to be a really fun thing to watch. I look forward to it very much. But yeah, Cap gets the Mind Stone, which is a really, really fun homage to both an Avengers comic and Captain America and Winter Soldier, where he's standing in the elevator with a bunch of Hydra guys, pretty much the exact same Hydra guys in the elevator fight scene in Winter Soldier, and you kind of expect him to go like, before we get started, does anyone want to be off? Nope, he says Hail Hydra, which is a reference to one of Captain America's alter egos in an Avengers comic, and he gets the staff, and then Iron Man and Cap go back in time to 70s. They both get a heartfelt moment with people. Well, Cap doesn't. He just sees Peggy and gets all saddened. And Tony gets a heartfelt conversation with his father. They get the space stone and they head back. The real meat of the stuff is really what happens on Vormir. And that name, and we all know what Vormir means. Soul Stone. We all know the Soul Stone. We all know what Thanos got the Soul Stone. So Hawkeye, well, Clint and Natasha go to Vormir to get the Soul Stone, and Red Skull reveals to him that in order to get the stone, a sacrifice must be made. A soul for a soul. So yeah, there's a really tense moment of like who you think's gonna happen, because both of them have planned futures. The Black Widow has a planned movie coming out like probably next year, or assuming next year, and then Hawkeye's got a Disney Plus miniseries, so it's really tense. Like I didn't even realize any one of those could be a prequel now. And right when you think Clint's about to do it for the sacrifice for his family, because his family died in the snap, and he's like, alright, tell my family I love them. Then Natasha's like, you tell them yourself. And then she falls in a beautifully scored moment. I love the score in this movie. It's so beautiful and so amazing and so epic. I love it. But yeah, Hawkeye falls. Hawkeye catches the ledge. Natasha falls, and Hawkeye gets the Soul Stone in a really emotional moment that comes out of nowhere. Natasha's the last person you'd expect to die. It was one of the last people, at least I expected to die. She has a movie coming out, but I guess that's going to be a prequel now. But still, I like that it took guts. Please don't undo it, Marvel. Come on. Show us that you had the guts to kill off a character. And keep it. Show us it. Come on. But anyways. And then War Machine and Nebula go get the Space Stone. They get it. But then weird time things start to happen with Nebula. In 2014 and 2023, Nebula switched. Yeah, that's right. It takes place 5 years after Infinity War, so I'm like, it's 2023. They switch places. And, well, Hulk managed to snap everyone back to life in the present day. Except for, Natasha and Gamora and Loki and Heimdall. But he snaps them all. They all come back. Then 2014 Nebula opens a portal, and boom, Thanos comes out and starts attacking everything. It's an intense battle. We find out that Thor, because he went to, which I forgot about, he went with Rocket to Asgard in 2013 to get the Reality Stone. To get the Reality Stone from Jane Foster, and he has a heartfelt conversation with the mom, and then they leave. And then, but Thor takes Mjolnir, and during the fight with Thanos, Captain America's shield gets destroyed, but we find out that Cap is indeed worthy, something that was hinted at Age of Ultron, and Thor will express the audience's reaction when he yelled, "I knew it," because let's be honest, the audience knew it too. And it was really great. And then all the heroes, the dead heroes and stuff, just coming back. They're all ready to fight. Spider-Man, everyone's there. Falcon does references on your left. Then Cap says the words that we've been waiting for 22 movies for someone to say. And he says it, Avengers Assemble. And it's all out war. And like I said, best finale of all time. 2023 Nebula turns 2014 Nebula to good, which we all knew was going to happen because it happens in Guardians and stuff. Then she kills 2014 Nebula, and just a big chase for the gauntlet, which when Hulk snapped, he got like half his face burned and stuff. Huge battle, super amazing. Love this fight. One of the best in film / superhero history. Super great. Love it. Love every minute of it. And we get an amazing emotional response of Tony and Peter together. Tony finally gives Peter a hug. Really emotional moment. Then during the fight, everyone's just fighting. We get some emotional lines like Scarlet Witch going like, "You took everything from me. I don't even know who you are. You will. Awesome moments and stuff. Super great. Pepper gets the rescue armor and joins the fight and stuff. Then Thanos is like, Thanos has the stone. He goes to snap. He goes like, I am inevitable. He snaps his fingers, but nothing's there. Tony stole the stones, which is an amazing moment, which upon rewatch, or maybe you noticed it the first time, I didn't, but upon rewatch, you can actually see Tony grab the stones from Thanos, puts it on his gun, and he goes like, and I am Iron Man. Snaps his fingers. Thanos and his entire army is dusted. It's an amazing moment, super emotional, but the snap fries Tony, kills him. We get an emotional moment of like, Mr. Stark, we won, which is sort of a parallel to Mr. Stark. I don't feel so good. And then you're like, Tony, we won. And she's like, and then Pepper's like, Tony, you can rest now. Super emotional. You have a heart of steel if you did not. You have a heart of stone if you did not even shed one tear or water up upon watching this movie, because it is emotional. We get a funeral scene where we get like so many people. We even get Harley Keener, the little boy from Iron Man 3. He's at the funeral. Super great moment. I love it. And Thor hands over Asgard, our rulership to Valkyrie, which I really liked. Thor joins the Guardians of the Galaxy, and they're going to search for Gamora. And Peter goes back to his high school, to hoping Scott would raise like Cassie and stuff. Super great moments. Cap goes to bring in all the stones back to the time, because that's what Hulk promised the source, the ancient one, and he does. Then he stays back, and he lives the life he always wanted with Peggy, which I really like. The fact that happens. Super great moment. Love that moment that he just stays back with Peggy and stuff. Lives a life, then he comes back old. He's an old man. See him sitting in the park there. Falcon goes to talk to him. Falcon becomes the new Captain America, which I mean was theorized that either Falcon or Bucky. And it makes the most sense for Falcon. I mean, Bucky is still seen in public eye as a terrorist. No one knows yet that he's actually a good guy. So he's still seen as public eye, and it'll be like, well, why is he Captain America? People, and you know, while Bucky may have been there longer, Falcon was pretty much always by Cap's side. Bucky had his moments when he wasn't. But yeah, we get all these emotional resolutions and stuff. Super great movie. I love it. We get to see the last scene in the movie is Cap dancing with Peggy. Then we get an amazing credits where all the original 6 actors are signing cursive their names by their characters. Super great movie. Love everything of it. The post-credit scene, there is no post-credit scene, which I'm a fan of. I like that it just ends, because this is the end of the Infinity Saga. It's not supposed to set up movies. We know there's movies coming. Far From Home is literally coming out in July, so we know that there are movies coming, but it's just, we didn't need them to be set up yet. So the post-credit scene is just an audio clip of hammering, which may seem like it's a tease, but no, it's a callback to Iron Man, because it's like the hammering sound from when he's in the cave. Super great moment. Love it. Love this movie. It's still great. Obviously still 100 out of 100. And if you're for some reason not seeing it and you watch the spoiler review, why? But anyways, that's all I have to say. If you like this, make sure to like and subscribe, and comment on how much you like Endgame, because you liked Endgame. Face it, you liked Endgame. And this is Jordan from Jordan Reviews, signing off.